So I think it's pretty safe to say that we've all encountered at least one horrible person in our lives. The kind of person that has so much hate inside them, they just want to share it with everybody. A classic misanthrope, if you will. It's hard not to get angry or upset whenever you have these interactions, or if you're someone like me, emotional. Through many years of experience dealing with these types of people, though, I think that I've discovered a little technique that helps protect my peace, at the very least. Hear me out here, it's gratitude. And before you write this off as being ridiculous and clicking out of this video, let me explain. There's a whole lot of sciencey stuff that I could say here, like the Mayo Clinic statements about gratitude reducing stress and in turn allowing you to better control your high blood pressure without medication, or the white paper called The Science of Gratitude by Dr. Summer Allen, mentioning possible connections between gratitude and various elements of psychological well-being. Even Dr. Andrew Huberman, which I'm pretty sure we all know by now, has an entire podcast episode dedicated to gratitude, its benefits, and creating gratitude practices. But I want to talk about gratitude like a normal person, because that's what I am, and not like a scientist, because I'm definitely not one, and share real life examples of why I do this, how it works for me, and why I think that you should do it too. There are truly infinite example scenarios that I could bring up here, but let's go back to what we were talking about earlier whenever you deal with people that are not so nice. I worked in retail for 2 years, followed by 5 years in the medical industry, so it's safe to say that I have encountered a few rotten apples in my career, but honestly, it doesn't really matter where you work because belligerence is everywhere. It can really ruin your mood or your whole day, and instead of letting this happen, say to yourself, it must be terrible to be that angry. It's so sad for them that they have so little going on in their own life that they have to act this way or say these things to entertain themselves. That must be exhausting, and I'm so thankful that that's not how I feel. The thing is, you're not even trying to lie to yourself or trick your brain into believing something that isn't true, because it's all the truth. Your peace remains untouched. You get to be the bigger person, the one that looks sane, and you don't run the risk of saying or doing something that you might regret. Instead, it turns into an amusing story that you can tell your friends or coworkers later. Now, I'm definitely not trying to downplay actual traumatic events or to tell you to just cheer up, but in normal day-to-day, this works out pretty well. If you hate your job, you can tell yourself this sucks, but I love having working legs or hands or eyes or ears, whatever it may be, to complete this job, and I'm so thankful that whenever I get home, I have the ability to look for a new job. If you don't feel like cooking dinner, you can say, well, at least I have food. It would be horrendous to not know the next time I would be able to eat. And again, I'm not saying don't complain because people have it worse than you. I hate whenever people have told me that in the past, and I'm certainly not going to say it to you. And I absolutely believe that your feelings are valid and you're allowed to feel hurt whenever you've been hurt. But if you're having one of those days where you just don't feel like doing life, don't feel like having responsibilities, some intentional gratitude can really help you out. There's scientific evidence that routine gratitude practices lead to happier, healthier lives overall. I'll link the science articles and the Dr. Huberman podcast episode down below if you're interested in learning more, but nonetheless, I highly recommend that you try this out in some of the unfortunate situations like the ones I mentioned. It's truly changed how I go through life, and it does a great job of keeping me level-headed and sane, and I'm 100% sure that it saved me some embarrassing moments from not bursting into tears. I am an emotional girl, so try it out. Let me know how it goes, and good luck.